Hi everyone, hello there. Welcome back to Return of the Nerd. Today we're going to have a look at episode 7 of Andor. Okay, so we're on season 2. Now, episodes 7, 8, and 9, the story arc, I really feel like I'm going to give you the big picture, okay? The big picture is this is a turning point now, right? So, episode 7, the opening scene is there's a spacecraft coming into landing. Where are they? Yeah. Yavin 4, baby, and that was just so good to see. So now we're all set up for Rogue One. I was wondering when the hell we were going to get to Yavin 4. I was hoping that episode 1, straight off the bat, that we would see Yavin 4 and the Rebel Alliance trying to patch this army together, but we had to wait 6 whole episodes to get there, and then we finally see Drebin. And he's from Rogue One, and he's in charge, the Colonel. And he's not very happy with Cassian, because Cassian just keeps on going on these missions without his permission. And he says, the time that I need your permission to come and go is the time I leave. And he said that time is near. And some very wise words there. So this is a real turning point. Things are getting super serious. The Rebel Alliance is coming together now. This is not just random attacks on imperial bases. These are not just insurgencies, disorganized rabbles of counter empire groups which are just out there in the galaxy doing their own thing, trying to get their own back on the empire. This is now like a coordinated effort to get everybody in the galaxy who believes in the cause and is against the empire, to get them in one place, which is hard because Yavin 4 needs to be kept a secret. It's amazing that when you fast forward to Star Wars: A New Hope, that Vader is just going insane with rage because he still doesn't know where the rebel base is. He doesn't know. The Empire, they kept it a secret from the Empire all that time, which is incredible. So hats off to the Rebel Alliance. Now you see how good they are, right? What they've actually achieved. Because we're in A New Hope, everything is you start on a downer, right? Vader comes in, strangles everyone, shoots everyone, takes the Death Star plans, and you're like, oh. And the Death Star is fully operational, and say goodbye to your homeworld of Alderaan. And it's really depressing. But if you go back and then you watch Andor, you see look at all the sacrifices, but look at all of the effort that went into actually putting this Rebel Alliance together in the first place. Is incredible. So this is a turning point, and Mon feels it too. Andor feels it. Andor is not happy with Luthen, okay? Not happy with him at all, not happy with his methods. I'm not even sure that, I don't think that, I think people are starting to not trust Luthen, and they're very scared of him because he's become he's almost like the Palpatine of the Rebel Alliance. He's like Stalin. He's, even if he even thinks that you've said something bad about him, or you might slightly be a risk to any of his plans, it's like he'll just shoot you, poison you, take you out. I just think that obviously Luthen's going to die in the last 3, the story arc in the last 3, 10, 11, 12. Luthen has to die. Because even he says in season 1 that he employed the strategies and the tactics of the Empire. He used those, and so he's no better than them. Whereas people like Mon Mothma and Bail Organa and Andor, they're starting to see a different direction now, right? We're getting organized. This is a proper army with proper leadership. We're soldiers, we're not terrorists. We're not insurgents, So this is what's happening. This is I think the main message in 7, 8, and 9. Now, episode 7 is called The Messenger. However, most people think that, it was Andor, he's the messenger because of the Force healer. She touches him. She tries to heal his wounds, which she does successfully. So it's good to see the Force being used in Andor. Finally, she must have been a Jedi at one point, or a Force user, and then Order 66 came along. But she now works as a cook on Yavin 4, but she's also a Force healer. And she touches him and she sees into his future, a bit like, you know, Yoda when he's like, you know, cloudy the future is, you know, like she obviously sees. I think that she sees Andor's death on Scarif, and then as she pulls her hand back, you can see like her face. She's really unhappy. She's really scared, and Bix immediately is like, "What did you see? What did you see?" And she's like, she doesn't want to say. But maybe off screen, because Andor goes back, right? Because he's like, I don't believe in any of this voodoo nonsense. Maybe she does tell Bix what she saw, which is one of the reasons why Bix in episode 9 just ups and leaves. It might have happened. So there's two messengers in this, right? Number one is the messenger Andor, right? But the other messenger is Dedra, okay? She's the messenger for the Empire, for the other side. And she doesn't really realize this. She's been played like a fiddle. Major, what's his name? Padagas? God, it's hard to remember all these new names. The ISB, the top level, the top tier, are, you know, including the Emperor himself, are manipulating the situation on Gorman on purpose, so that there's some kind of uprising, and then they can blame the people of Gorman and say, look how violent they are, and they look how many innocent imperial you know, people they've killed, and they can label them as terrorists and savages. And so this whole, I mean, the whole of the second season, I feel, is showing us how the Empire was able to become so powerful in the first place without having to use so much force, because their intelligence service is so effective. The ISB, the propaganda that they use, it's just incredible. So I really like the opening scene where we see the Yavin base, and it says at the bottom, you know, like you got BBY2, and then it says Yavin Rebel Base, and I'm like, yes, we're home, baby. This is where it starts. And then we see Will, right? Because I thought Will was dead. In the last time we saw him, he was off his face on Saw Gerrera's breathing in what's it called, Rido? We got some Rido. We're gonna ride on the Rido. That guy is a nutter. And then you see Will takes a whiff of it and then just drops back and falls head over heels. Is like, I thought he was dead. You know, like, and that was funny because in that last one, it explains why Saw Gerrera has completely lost his mind, because he's been sniffing this Rido, and it's like just burning him and killing him from the inside. And he can't breathe. This is why later on in Rogue One he has that extra breathing apparatus. You know, he just sticks it to his and he also, his voice as well has probably got something to do with it. So he's like slowly dying from the inside. Anyway, he's back. I think Will is a really important character in this. And have you noticed that there aren't many the character from the original cast that were on Ferrix? There aren't many left now. So I feel like every 3 episodes we lose somebody, right? Which is sad. And now people say to each other, was it Stone and Sky? I have no idea what that means. So if someone can write that in the comment section below, that's obviously like they're from Ferrix, and there's like Stone and Sky, and then they hug each other. It's like a bro hug. Like they're not going to see each other for they might never see each other again. So what does that actually mean, Stone and Sky? Because I'm still fascinated by the planet Ferrix. I thought we might return to it this season, but we haven't. Anyway, yeah, so Luthen versus Andor. This is not good. Luthen needs Andor more than Andor needs Luthen, and this is the truth. So he sends Vel to go beg Bix, please, we need him desperately. Things are getting out of control. And he needs some discipline. He can't just wander off Will's basically told Andor, now's your chance. If you want to kill Dedra, go now. She's on Gorman. And so the whole episode is actually pretty cool because it's like Day of the Jackal. You know, Cassian's going off on this, again, rogue mission to assassinate Dedra. And he books in to the same hotel. And it's funny because the guy behind the counter recognizes him. And he's like, you're not fooling me. I know why you're here. You're under false pretenses. You're going to use a fake ID again. And it was that scene was funny when he's trying to check into the hotel. And he doesn't even, you find out later on that he doesn't even check him in, right? Because he's part of the resistance there, the Gorman Underground. And the best scene ever, I think, in episode 7 is when Andor goes into the hotel room and he turns off the lights. He opens his case, and inside you just see the weapon dismantled, and he takes out the telescopic the scope, and he looks out the window and he checks everything, and he's like this very professional, clinical, cold assassin, and he's like looking at the distance, and then he checks, you know, he can hear voices above. That he puts that little mirror out the door, right, and he can see the 2 stormtroopers on patrol on the floor above him on the hotel. So he's like, stand down. There won't be any killing tonight. And then he gets comms from Will. How's the weather? Skies are clear. I'll be here all night if you need me. And he's talking to Will about, you know, what's the distance between the hotel and the plaza? How old is the plaza? You know, the windows, are they new, old? I might need to take 2 shots. It's the conversation between them is brilliant, because this is like so. This guy is a professional assassin, and again, like I said, this in Rogue One, Andor is sent to assassinate Jyn Erso's father, right? They go to Edu, and that was the whole point of him going there, is to kill him. And the opening scene of Rogue One is also kind of an assassination as well. I mean, he puts that guy out of his misery. The guy gives him the message in that marketplace, and then he's like, oh, there's no escape, the stormtroopers coming, and he's like, relax, and then he just shoots him in the stomach, and that's the opening scene. Like, Andor is absolutely ruthless, you know. So yeah, but there's this, I think episode 7 is just basically showing there's this paranoia setting in, because Yavin is now operational, and you've got an influx of people, and they want to join the rebellion, but there's suspicion among the ranks. This person could be a spy. We don't know where's this person come from. They could have come from anywhere, and also the path of the rebellion is kind of going off in different directions. So before you had Luthen controlling the strings, he was the puppet master, but now it's become much bigger than him. And people are starting to step away from Luthen because his methods are too draconian. And I don't know, it's just, I really like that feeling. So I'm going to just check my notes and see if I've covered everything. 1 second. Okay, so there's a couple of things I haven't mentioned, right? So I like Captain Kaido. He's the new guy who's in charge of security. This is where Dedra finds out that she's not in charge, really. And she is not happy about this. Cyril is not happy about this. Cyril goes to the underground movement and says, like, he tries to dissuade them, like, you shouldn't, whatever you're planning, do not go ahead with it. And he gets a good old slap round the face for it. Cyril, like, storms into Dedra's office, demands an explanation, and he is not happy because he's been lied to this whole time. And Dedra still will not tell him the truth. So this, I just feel there's the tension in the relationships between everybody. I mean, between Dedra and Major Pendergast, the tension between Dedra and Cyril. You got tension between Bix and Andor. You got tension between Andor and Luthen. You got tension. I mean, the Mon Mothma tension with everyone. It's just like the stakes are getting so high now, and it's getting to that turning point, with the point of no return. So everyone's so suspicious and paranoid. Yeah, I feel sorry for Cyril, you know, because he's been led down the garden path, and he's been completely manipulated. But then again, so has Dedra as well, and I think she realizes this too. So 7, 8, and 9, the whole arc is also talking about propaganda and how easy it is to just lead people on, and they feel like they're doing the right thing, but actually they're not. Even when they're told, your job is to take orders, and they say yes, but then they finally realize that the actual orders that they're having to carry out are wicked, cruel, and evil. And this is on both sides, on the Empire side and on the Rebellion side. And I think that's an important message for 7, 8, and 9. Like, even we have a guy called Sergeant Boy, and he brings his team along. They're very inexperienced. They've just come out of, you know, the Empire Academy, a bunch of squaddy soldiers. And he's told, like, as soon as they step off the shuttle, you can tell, okay, these are the expendables. They're going to die. So in episode 9, you just know that these innocent Imperials are going to lose their lives. They're going to be sacrificed in order to create, you know, violence and this massive insurrection at the plaza. So, you know, the Empire are the same. They're willing to kill their own. They don't care about anybody or anything. And it's, you know, like, you see that in Rogue One as well, this mentality. There's this kind of competition of ego between Tarkin and then Krennic, right? And Krennic does a test of the Death Star, and then Tarkin just says, okay, well, we don't need you anymore, do we? Everybody's expendable. Everybody's using everyone. We don't need you anymore. I'm going to go talk to the Emperor now and tell him that this is my project and it works and I'm taking over. And he says, you stand here and say that amidst my achievement? And it's like, you can, and then he ends up getting killed, right? So literally every single person in, you know, from Andor season 1 working all the way through to Rogue One and even up to Star Wars: A New Hope, you're like, everyone's expendable. And it's kind of, this is war, you know. So I'm so excited for the final arc, 10, 11, 12, because I really want to see Admiral Akbar, Princess Leia, Bail Organa, and I need all these people to come together to make it connect. You know, if we don't see them, then it doesn't feel right, you know, because in A New Hope, Princess Leia is an integral part of the Rebel Alliance. So we have to have Princess Leia in this at some point. Please do not just leave it until the final episode and then you see Princess Leia's face and go, oh, you know, like, I really hate it when Disney does that, you know. You'll get like an entire episode where they refer to the Emperor or they refer to Lord Vader, and at the end you just hear and then it stops and you're like, oh god, can we just see Vader? Can we just see Tarkin? The CGI Tarkin in Rogue One was great. Look, can we have Tarkin in Andor season 2? And why not the Emperor? Like, we need to see Admiral Akbar, we need to see Princess Leia. There's a lot of people, high level, high ranking people, who we need to see on screen. Okay, I know it's called Andor and the focus is on him, right? But we still need to see the formation of the Rebel Alliance, and I need to see all these people. I personally need, how do you feel about that? You can put that in the comment section below, okay? I need to see all these individuals before this show is over, and then I will be content. All right, what did you think of episode 7? I'll do a review of episode 8 coming up very soon. May the force be with you, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, if I've left anything out, which I probably have, because there was just so much to talk about, please put in the comments section below, because I love talking to you guys and we can have a dialogue about, you know, Andor. Are you enjoying it? Because I know people are very divided over this. Some people like really are not into Andor because it's a lot of walking and talking, and there's not enough pew pew, and there's no lightsabers. And then you've got other people who just like think it's the best Star Wars they've ever seen. So let me know. Right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Stone in the sky.